last time we talked about the defense looking kind of rough. And that we averaged about 135, giving up 135 points a game. And ironically, we started out the road trip holding Miami Heat to under 100 points, and then we ended the road trip holding the Timberwolves to under 100. So one of those games missing Harden, and one of those games missing Embiid. In fact, we've held our opponents to under 100 points 12 times this season, and are 11-1. But the crazy thing about that stat is that out of those 12 games, we were missing either Embiid or Harden in 7 of those games, going 7-0, and each time we missed one of those guys. So my question to you guys is, why are we a better defensive team when we're down one of our stars?
I don't really know. I don't think you can point at one thing. I just think as far as mechanics of the team, I just think more than anything, the focus and the attention to detail raises up when one of those guys are out. I would, if I had to say anything, it would just be that. You would think you're supposed to have that focus all the time. But it's just something about when someone's out, you kind of look to do more in different ways. So, I mean, that's the only thing I can come up with. I don't think it's anything from a schematic standpoint that they're doing.
So I took it a step further too. So in games, just in general this year, in games that Joel's missed, we're 9-4. In games that Harden's missed, we're 11-6. In games Maxey's missed, we're 13-6. And even without Tobias, we're 4-1. So I didn't look to see what games overlap, because I think a few of those did overlap. So some of those wins, some of those losses were when multiple guys were out, which is still impressive, right? Yeah. I'm with you on that. I don't know. I part of it, to oversimplify, I think Doc's also pretty good at game planning a shorthanded team. He did it really well with the Clippers a few years back. Whenever they were missing guys for long periods of time, they were pulling out wins. They were always competitive against, like, when they were overmatched. I don't know if that's when he shines, but he does a really good job of coaching an overmatched team when they're, as far as who's on the floor.
It could be a sign of a good team.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a sign of a good team that, when things don't go your way, you're still able to win games.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it could be any more than that. I just think it's basically what we talked about. I don't think you can pinpoint one thing in particular. Are you defending well or defending better in those situations?
I'd say the games without Harden or Maxey would make a little more sense, because they're not our best defenders. But the ones without Embiid,
then that's just like saying if they're not our defenders, then we shouldn't score as much.
Yes.
But we do.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So yeah, it's the Embiid, out of most of those, Embiid's number surprised me, because he is our defensive anchor, right? But yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, definitely speaks to our depth just overall. I mean, like, I know sometimes we talk about, not getting much from our bench, but like when our guys are out, the guys on the bench, they step up. And so, like, that's just it's interesting.
It's so strange.
But I guess more minutes. You're giving these guys more minutes, whereas Harden and Max, you're there. These guys aren't getting as much touches or much playing time. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm.